Welcome to this lesson about the rate and the regular motion. The rate. It's the quantity or the amount of something measured by unit or per unit of something else. So let's take some examples that might come in relation to the rate. What is the average speed of this car? This is an example question. So the average speed of this car is the ratio between the kilometers that the car crosses between two cities, for example, A and B, and the time it takes to cross this distance. So an example answer might be is 60 kilometers per hour. We can, of course, convert the units, so we can say 60 multiplied by 1,000 meters over 3,600 seconds, if we want to express this instead of kilometers per hour as meters per seconds, let's say. Another question, how much does this doctor charge per visit? So, the doctor charges 70 euros per visit. So, per 2 visits, he charges 140 euros, for example, and per 3 visits, he charges 210 euros. How many hours does this person exercise per day? An example answer might be he exercises or she exercises half hours per day. So let's take, for example, this question. Specify the rate in the context of the question and solve it. So the first question, it says, the house rent is 450 euros per month. How much is the rent per day? So based on the context of the question, we can notice that the rate here is actually the rent per day. Or in other words, the amount of euros that is to be paid per day. So we can see that the house rent is 450 euros per month, and the month is 30 days. So we have the following proportion: 450 euros over 30 days is in proportion with and an amount X of euros over 1 day. So from this we get X is equal to 401 multiplied by 450 over 30, which is 15 euros. So X equals 15 euros is the amount to be paid per day. Another question, a student can study 6 pages in 3 hours. How many pages can he or she study in 1 hour? So based on the context of this question, we can conclude that the rate is the number of pages that the students study in 1 hour, or in other words, pages per hour. In order to calculate it, we have the following proportion: 6 pages in 3 hours is in proportion with number of pages, which we don't know, we call it x per 1 hour. From this, we conclude that x is equal to 1 multiplied by 6 over 3, and this will give me 2, which is the number of pages the student can study in 1 hour. Now we move to the concept of the regular motion. We say that a motion is regular when the moving object crosses distances that are in proportion with the times it takes to cross these distances. For example, if a car is moving between two cities, A and B, while it takes 1 hour to finish the distance or to cross this distance, which is equal to 30 kilometers, this means that the same car, if moving between the city B and the two cities B and C, must cross a distance of 60 kilometers between those two cities in 2 hours. So why is that? Because the motion is regular, so that we must have here 30 kilometers over 1 hour is in proportion with 60 kilometers over 2 hours. Of course, these two ratios are in proportion, and we can prove that through the cross product rule. We notice that the product of the extremes is 60. Also, the product of the means is also 60. So let's take a practical example by finding the missing values in the table. We have a table of distances here, 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, etc. And the times in minutes we need, or the object needs to cross these distances. So here we need to find those two missing values, the first one in minutes and the second one is in kilometers. Let's start by calculating the first one. So here the following proportion must be satisfied. 20 over 30, which is the first ratio, must be equal to 40 over x, which is the missing value. From here we conclude that x is equal to 40 multiplied by 30 over 20, which is 60 minutes. So the object needs 60 minutes to cross a distance of 40 kilometers. Let's now compute the other missing value. So here we have the proportion. X over 90 is equal to, again, 20 over 30. From here, we conclude that x is equal to 20 multiplied by 90 over 30. In other words, x is equal to 60 kilometers. And this is the distance the object crosses in 90 minutes. Is the motion described below regular? Justify your answer. So we have this table. In order for the motion to be regular, the object must, or the distances that the object crosses must be in proportion with the times that it takes to cross these distances according to the definition of the regular motion. We notice that the two ratios, which are 20 over 50 and 60 over 150, are in proportion, and we can prove that through that cross product rule. So the multiplication of the means is 50 multiplied by 60, which is 3 thousandths, and this is equal to the multiplication of the extremes, which is 20 multiplied by 150. Again, we get 3 thousandths. However, if we took the last ratio and the first one, we notice that the product of the means, which are 50 and 50, is 2,500, whereas the product of the extremes, which are 20 and 100, is equal to 2 thousandths, and thus doesn't equal, and this value doesn't equal to 2,500, which is the product of the means. This means that those two ratios are not in proportion. This means that the motion is not regular. Thank you for watching.